Well, well, well. Looks like we have a new month on our hands. That means a new what sold video. Ah, that was bad.
One more time.
Well, well, well. August was a month. Let's talk about it. Okay, so August was our best month, except for the month where we sold like an $800 like designer coat. So, you know, that's not fair. So I'm excited to get into it. It's a lot of little sales, but we've got some big sales too. So I'm going to just go by platform. Right now we're starting with eBay. And on eBay, our largest sale was $125. We had a few near 100, well, $100 and $199, but we're going to start with the lowest sale. So don't worry, they're not all like this. But the first sale we're going to go over is this Nike Pro Combat, no, not Combat, but like a Nike Pro green top, and it sold for like $10. Next is this Gap leather coat in a boy's 2XL. Weirdest coat I ever found. Like, I found it at a Goodwill for $10, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a men's coat, and they have it in the kids section. It was not. It was a kid's coat, and they had it in the kids section. And it was, yeah, Gap is not a great performing brand, and so I was happy when someone sent me an offer for $20. So I made like $7, which isn't the worst, but yeah, that was not a great find. So don't pick up Gap leather coats in kids sizes. Just don't do it. Next is this pair of Ulu boots. We found these at the bins, and honestly I could have gotten more for them, but I had them for a while and someone sent me a $35 offer, and I'm like, let's move them out. Next is this Cafe Marrakesh new with tags shirt that my mom gave me, and it sold right away for $21.57. What an interesting number. Next is this pair of Keen kind of like Croc shoes, and we found them at the Medford bins, and they sold for $45 pretty quickly. These Athleta 2XL pants sold for $18. And we found most of this stuff at the bins. So, you know, our cost of goods is like $1 to $2. This Life is Good blue top, my mom gave me this as well, and it sold right away for $14.50. This Columbia skirt sold for $19. And that's like the only like really okay sale that I've had with Columbia. This Torrid Harper shirt that was like a really cute deer and like woodland animals shirt or print sold for $20. This Panhandle Slim Western top sold really quickly for $29.99. I think that was our full asking price. This was a good sale. It took a long time, but we found this at the bins, and it is The Bridge vintage leather bag, and I believe it was like from Italy. It sold for $100 on eBay. This was surprising. So I learned about this brand from Mogi Beth, Taylor Stitch. It's just a men's button-up shirt. We found it at the bins, and it sold for $55.97. This LL Bean vest was a mistake, and I realized that as soon as I got it home. Like, LL Bean does not move for me. It moves for some people, but not for me. So I let it go for $11.40. This Scottish kilt bag was so interesting. Ryan found this on a bins trip, and it was like a last minute thing. We're like, this is probably something. And it sold for $44.95 pretty quickly. This new with Tag Maurice's red plaid sweatshirt, the softest thing ever, sold for $20 really quickly. These leather chavs, they sold. Ryan finally got them listed, and they sold like within days of him listing them for $125. So he wins that competition. We both had, I picked these out for him, and he picked like a t-shirt out for me, so it's not really that fair. But he won. Made the most money. This Pendleton plaid bomber jacket, like vintage 90s, I believe, sold for $97, which was great. These Nike finger trap sneakers, I think that's what they're called. They sold for $39.97. This new with tags Dutch Bros plaid shirt sold for $27.87. And this Club Monaco cashmere skirt, it had a lot of things wrong with it. It had a hole, it had stains, the waistband was stretched out. So I disclosed that, and it sold really quickly for $11. Moving on to Mercari, I had a few sales, 4 sales. This first one was funny. This is an Adidas and Ivy League denim skirt, 2XL, new with tags. Found it at Goodwill, and it's been sitting for a while, but it finally sold for $80 on Mercari. And the buyer they tried to return it because they were like, it doesn't smell as fresh as I thought it was going to, or something. Anyway, and I contested that. I'm like, that's a weird way to like return an item that doesn't fit you the way you want, probably. And Mercari took my side, so we're good. But that was a weird sale. I was like, okay. This Free People blue, I've just called it an ugly sweater in my inventory because it was like interesting. It did have like some flaws, and it sold really quickly for $17. Lucky Brand shorts sold for $13. Marywool top, which is like similar to Smart Wool but not as well known, sold for $22. And that was all of my Mercari sales. So moving on to Poshmark, Poshmark is my best platform, and so we have the most sales. This next sale was really, really good. Banana Republic leather jacket. We found this at Goodwill for $30 and flipped it for $125 on Poshmark. Love it. Love it. Good American tie-dye sweater, found at the bins, had some flaws, but it still sold for $15 really quickly. Prana yoga pants that were blue, $22 with discounted shipping. These Air Jordan shorts sold for $35. These Sorel suede tall boots for women sold for $88 with discounted shipping. These Sam Edelman black leather boots, I was just about to send a thread up because I've had them forever. And they take up a lot of space, but they sold for $36 and $1.72 discounted shipping. It's weird. I've talked about this I've noticed that I have an item in mind and I'm like, oh, this has been sitting for a while. I want it to move. And then like I get an offer the next day or the day of a lot of times. And I'm like, well, that's convenient. This silk scarf. This like silk black floral scarf, no brand, sold for $28 with discounted shipping. Like pretty quickly, so that was great. We found it at the bins and that weighed like nothing. So if you find wonderful, beautiful silk scarves, even if they don't have a brand, like they can be worth money. Oh, this Air Jordan jacket, we got home and realized that there was, actually, I still got it knowing that it was flawed, I think. It had a hole in it. So yeah, we sold it for like $12. New with tag, Nike black, these weird like long shorts, and I spent forever like trying to find the exact style name, and then I was like, this is not even going to be worth that much. Why am I spending so much time? So I just listed them without like understanding what they were. I think I just said like long shorts or something. They just sold for $15 on Poshmark. These Athleta joggers did take a while to sell, but they sold for $27 with discounted shipping. Oh, this Pendleton blanket. It's, it's beautiful. You'll see the cover photo probably, but it was so flawed. It had like just holes and like a whole section of it was missing. But when we went to the bins that day, Ryan was excited to find it, and I was like, we shouldn't get this, and he was like really upset, and so I was like, okay, I'll get it. It also was like really, it needed a lot of lint rolling, and so I put too much work into this item, and it sat, but then it finally sold for $25. So after fees, at least I like made like $18. But yeah, I wouldn't pick that up again. This Wilfred free hat, I was concerned I was going to be sitting on this for like a lot longer than I did. I did sit on it for a while, but then it sold for $12. This Supreme and Hanes collaboration t-shirt sold for $19. Cut from the cloth shorts, it sold for $18. Oh, this was a good sale. Pendleton vintage black skirt suit set. That is a lot to say. That sold really quickly. We found this at the bins, and it sold for $78. That was a good sale. This Hawaiian men's top that had a bunch of like toucans and stuff on it sold for $27. This Ralph Lauren linen pink top sold for $35. Torrid butterfly top sold for $24 with discounted shipping. This shirt cracks me up. So we found this at the bins with my dad, or like my dad was there that day, and I got this just to joke with him. It just said like Johnny Suede dressed a pimp. And so I was like, gonna get it just to be like, I found something for you, Dad. And it ended up being worth something. So we picked it up and it sold quickly for $40 with discounted shipping. This Free People skirt, it was like boho. It did have flaws on the hem, like wear on the hem, but it sold for $35 with discounted shipping. This Fossil large wallet sold for $15. Prana yoga pants gray sold for $16 with discounted shipping. Holding Horses Anthropology pink romper sold for $40. Cool Pants green sold for $50. Oh my goodness, this sale, whew. This pair of boots was like, this was the hardest like $45-ish that I ever worked for, I guess. So we got them at the bins and cleaned them up, photographed them, you know, as you do. And so, you know, I had them listed for a while. My most liked item, I think, that I have at all, maybe. But no one was like purchasing them. I got a lot of questions about like, does this fit true to size? Can you measure this and this? And it was this whole thing. But finally, so I had them listed at like 100, and someone sent me an offer for like 33 or something. And so I countered, and she countered back and forth. And she was one of those people, you guys, that like, she countered like $1 more than what she did before sometimes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is obnoxious. And so it was just like a struggle. And in my mind, I was like, I want to at least make $45 for my time on this. And so I was like, okay, I need to make it, or like sell it for at least $69 to do that. And so I was like, I don't want to spend forever on the phone with this lady. And so I just countered at 69, and I just kept counting at 69, and forever. And then she countered at 59, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And Ryan was like, wouldn't that be 45 profit? And I was like, oh yeah, it would. And so I accepted it, and she probably felt like she won the lottery because she's like, I wore her down so much, and like she did, I guess. But at least I made a good amount, I guess, on that item. Yeah, so it's shipped to her. She gave me 5 stars. We're good. Like, man, I was just kind of nervous about her being like a difficult buyer. But we got it taken care of. Those are out the door. Long story. Anyways, okay. These silk pink pants I found at the bins, and I couldn't find much because we try to like not spend forever at the bins checking comps, because you can really spend a long time. So we kind of do like a basic search on things we don't know, and I couldn't quite find these, like a comp for these online, I guess, or on like eBay. And then I just was like, these are in excellent condition. They're mulberry silk, and I'm like, that's gotta be a thing. And so I just added them in because they weighed hardly anything. And then I got home, and when I was listing them, I did more research on what that is, and it's like a specific type of silk that people like for sleepwear that's really luxurious. And the place, it was called Lily Silk was the brand, and it was like their sleep sets were retailing for like $200, I think. It was really spendy. And so I was like, okay, this is great. I still didn't price these up too much because it wasn't a sleep set, it was just pants. So I think I priced them probably at like $35, honestly. I could have probably priced them for higher, but I just didn't know if people were actively searching this out on secondhand websites. So I did get an offer for $25 on Poshmark, and I accepted, and they sold really quickly. So Lily Silk, Mulberry Silk, if you randomly find that, it's really luxurious. Oh, this was a sale. I just wanted to move this item out. This purse is really beautiful. I could have gotten more for it maybe if I held out, but it had a pretty significant flaw, to me at least. I don't know, like maybe it doesn't matter to a lot of people, but it had it was supposed to have 4 like things on the bottom of it to keep it up, I guess. One of them was missing, so it couldn't stand up on its own. It would like fall over if you like placed it on something. And I realized that, I think, after we got it home. And if it was in good condition, I could have gotten probably $40 for this item. But yeah, someone sent me an offer for 10, and this was a time where I was like, you know, I could get rid of that. I don't want to like hold on to it longer because it's flawed. And I only have a small amount of space for purses because they take up a lot of space. Purses and shoes take up a lot. And so I just was like, sure, like they can just have it for 10. So I made like almost $6 on that. This pair of We the Free jeans was super interesting. Found them at the bins. They were like, I'm not sure if this was intentional, like that the brand did this or someone else did, but there were like painted faces on them, and it looked like it was done by like a person that bought them. I'm not sure. I wasn't able to find much on them, but they sold for $35. Oh, these Keen hiking shoes I had forever, and I was just begging people to take them from me. I had them priced like around $60 or $65. They weren't in terrible condition, but they did have some wear to them. And I sat on them forever. Someone sent me a $35 offer, and I was like, oh, take them away. So I was happy about that. This Billy Reed top sold pretty quickly. I was like, I think I heard about this from Mogi Beth too. She likes this brand, and I think she mentioned that it sells pretty quickly in the 25 range maybe. So mine did sell for $28 with discounted shipping. And the discounted shipping, I have an extension called Posher VA that sends out offers automatically to people that like my items on Poshmark. So it'll send a 10% discount with discounted shipping in like 5 minutes. So if you ever want to like hack my closet or other people's closets, you can like things, wait like 5 minutes, and see if they'll like automatically send an offer. I do that when I shop on Poshmark, and I'm just like hoping they have one of those bots so I get it a little bit cheaper if I want something. So yeah, there's a tip for you. Maybe, I'm just thinking like maybe we can add, I think I might have a referral code. So if I think of that and we do that, that'll be in the description for you to get a free trial or something off. Yeah, so Billy Reed, this was my favorite sale on Poshmark. It is this pair of, I think it's Ilse Jacobson red rain boots. They're these really tall lace-up boots. They're sold at Nordstrom, and I think they retail for like, oh gosh, I don't remember. Was it $250 or something? Yeah, so we found them at the bins, and I did have to wait a while, and they took up a lot of space, but they sold full price for $140. So that was awesome. Yeah, so these red boots, that was my favorite, probably my favorite sale of the month, because it was made the most on them. It was exciting to get those out. We had to be creative with packaging them because they were so tall and rigid, so we figured it out. But yeah, so those are all of my online sales from my marketplaces that I personally sold. I also did have a lot of consignment items, but they're really small and I don't want to go into the weeds there. So with those, I made $1,711.52 with my work and then the consignment shop's work. But in addition to that, I just got my payout total from ThredUp, and that amount is like $407 in Athleta credit. So I'm not including that in my like monetary totals, but yeah, here's the deal. I will do another video about ThredUp and how to best utilize it for you. But I basically spent like $50 to $60, or like it was $50 for the items, and then I paid like $10 for return assistance. Like if they didn't take items, I would get those back. And so I made a lot on that. I was like very pleasantly surprised. And I did like Athleta credit, and there's like a 15% bonus. So I got $50 more than I would have anyway. So the only caveat is, or the only thing is that you don't get paid in like cash, but you get paid quickly. Anyway, it's this whole thing. I'll go into another video about it, like I can't talk right now. I'll go into more detail about it, but that was super exciting. So if I were to count that, it would be over $2,000, which is like what we're trying to do. We're trying to move up and up. So yeah, very excited about this month. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll be here for September. Here's hoping that your sales in September are amazing. We're saying goodbye to summer slowdown, hopefully, and yeah, wishing you and us a very prosperous fall. All right, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hey, thanks again for checking out this video.
If you learned something or enjoyed what you saw, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps us out.
And if you want more nifty thrifties in your life, why not subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon to get notified when we make new videos just like this one.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.